Even smart, experienced sellers are taking these massive hits, like these three who lost $900,000 each, and countless others, all from the same mistake no one could see coming until now. Everyone thinks it's about the market timing and list price, but in this video, you'll see why the real cause of lost equity comes down to a single decision every seller has to make. And I'll show you exactly how my system, which has MLS data on every home sold in America, helps you avoid this financial disaster from happening to you. At the end, you'll also learn how to get your own access. Now, the reason this mistake blindsides every seller comes down to something so simple, it's a little embarrassing. Imagine I had to choose a wedding photographer, but I decided to choose them based on how they look taking them instead of, looking at their pictures like a normal person. And it's no wonder that my once in a lifetime wedding photos turned out to be like this. Isn't that exactly how all of us are forced to choose real estate agents? And until now, no one could prove that choosing your agent this way is the biggest threat to your sale. The agent, not the market, not the list price, decides your ultimate outcome. I know I'm blaming real estate agents, and that sounds like I'm blaming flight attendants for turbulence. But I built the only tool that actually shows you what really happened after those for sale signs went up. And what it shows is terrifying. And if that sounds bad, the next part is worse because sellers aren't even considering the type of agent to trust. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Imagine I walk into a hospital needing surgery and I pick a doctor, just any doctor. That's crazy, right? That's exactly how all of us are picking agents. But that's been costing home sellers tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars, like you just saw. What if, with just one click, you could see what any agent could really get your home sold for and how long they'll likely take? And I'm going to show you exactly how that happens. It first has to find those agents that has the real experience that you need. It does it by searching every licensed real estate agent in the entire country and verifies them for these four essential qualifications. First, has this agent actually sold a home exactly like yours, in your neighborhood, in the same price range, and within the last year? By the way, I've already put in my personal address in here, so you're going to see real agents and their real numbers, just the names hidden for privacy. But seeing this is going to save you from one of the biggest financial risks of your life. So we're going to make this personal. So we're going to pretend that you are going to sell a single family home and that it's about 1.2 million. So it'll fall in right here. Okay, here's what you're going to see once I hit apply. Every column here, it's going to answer the big questions that you'll never be able to get from just interviewing agents. For most of these, they're not going to even know these numbers or answers. Let me show you what I mean. I built my software around these 6 signature moves because until now, there's been no way to see what actually sets the best agents apart. Surprisingly, the first move most people miss is experience, but not the kind you're thinking of. It's not about how many years they've been doing this. The experience that actually helps you is how many homes like yours an agent has sold and how recently. Here's what they don't show you though: how many times they've tried. So that's what you're looking at: the number of listings they had and the number of those homes they actually sold. The second signature move is buyer magnetism. Missing this is the single biggest reason sellers end up handing their equity to their buyers. Here's the thing: sellers have always wanted to pick the agent who could bring in the highest offers. But before I built this, that was absolutely impossible to know. So people had to settle for looking at agents' best case scenarios like referrals, reviews, even marketing materials. But now you never have to guess again because nothing's hidden anymore. So, how do you spot the agents who have it? Right here. This column shows the agent's average sale price compared to their asking price. So, this 102% means this agent's getting offers 2% above list. Pretty simple, right? Now, the other column shows their usual range. So, this It means their sales tend to land anywhere from 2% under asking to 5% above it. Now that you can see this, you're finally protecting yourself from every dangerous agent who are losing tens and hundreds of thousands of their clients' equity. Up next is a number every home seller wished they could have known before hiring their agent, and that's marketing speed. Every agent will tell you they have unique marketing strategies for every home they sell. But what you really want to know is, do those strategies actually work? This shows you by looking at the average number of days they took to sell their clients' homes. Because if their homes are sitting, their marketing strategy doesn't work, period. Isn't it pretty amazing how easy it is now to find good agents? The next signature move, price specialty. Agents can say that they sold something at your price point, but we're the only ones that are auditing their entire sales history for the last 12 months. And if the numbers don't prove they're specialists for your price point and property type, they don't show up on this list. Not only that, but even if they are specializing in your price point, if they don't have predictable results because they're still learning, they don't show up here either. So now you're safe from agents who want to practice on your home because you're only getting true specialists you can actually rely on. Here's also what separates great agents from the rest, what I call their delivery gap. It shows, can you actually trust what they promise? There are agents who'll say whatever it takes to win your business. But when your home sits, they're going to blame the market or the news, and then they're going to push for you to have these expensive price reductions. But that means you end up selling your home for way less than it's worth. See, the best agents are honest, upfront, and deliver. And to find those agents, all you have to do is look at how often their clients had these expensive price reductions. This way, you'll never feel like you got sold by overly optimistic or even an over-promising agent ever again. And finally, here's the signature mark of a great agent, their end game score. Here's a number that no one talks about, but it's the worst case scenario for every home seller. And that's after months of disappointing showings, their home couldn't sell. This would be the number you'd care about the most. And that's shown here. But I'm going to take you deeper because this real estate industry is just about trust me with no real proof. And I'm not about that. So, what you've just seen is our recommended list, the true standouts after they've gone through our rigorous testing. But what about the others? Well, here they are. This is where every agent in the entire country, and I really do mean that, because we don't have a small list of our own agents, our database has every licensed realtor so that you don't have to work from a small talent pool. You literally get the very best the world has to offer. So, what you're seeing here is every agent who sold at least one home of your price point and your property type in your neighborhood. And you see that there are 776 agents for my house. So let's look at agent 631. In your dashboard, you'll actually see their names. And if you hover over, you'll also see their phone numbers and email addresses too. If you met this agent, they'd say they sold 30 homes in the last 12 months, 25 of which are single family homes. But you'll never know that they had 53 listings. And look, here's where it gets crazy scary for home sellers. See how they're almost at 100% average here? But when you hover over their range, here's what you'll never know without the system. And that's this agent is consistently selling $130,000 below list and only just 30,000 above for all their 30 clients. How would you ever know that without this tool? Imagine that it was your friend whose home got sold for 30,000 over and now they're referring this agent to you. Would you like to take your chances on that? On top of that, their marketing speed is 67 days. And I'm going to add context in just a little bit, but take a look here. 16 out of their 43 sellers had price reductions. Hover over it, and you're going to see that 16 home sellers lost an average of $144,000. You know, in total, that's $2.3 million of equity loss. And they have a success rate of just 58%. So that means 4 out of 10 home sellers they represent wasn't even able to get their home sold. And this is going to be important in just a second, but they're selling $1 million properties. So we're going to be comparing apples to apples here. And now look at agent 753, who also typically sells $1 million single family homes. This agent had almost the exact same listings at 41, but look, they sold all of them. And man, look at these sweet numbers. 102% average, but with a 98% to 108% range. That's just 25,000 under and 85,000 over list price. Compare that to 130,000 under and 30,000 over list. Not only that, but this agent, out of 41 homes sold, they're averaging 14 days on the market. That's an agent with the marketing system that works. Compare that to the other agent who's most likely going to lose you money and take 2 months longer. But you're going to see here, this agent has one price reduction. But look, here's why it's so important that we're transparent by giving you as much info as we can legally give. There are laws about how much information we are allowed to provide. But look, their one price reduction was for just 14,000 compared to the other guy whose was 144,000. When you compare two agents selling nearly identical homes in the same area and with their results this consistent, it's so clear that the biggest factor in your home sale is the agent. But really, without this, they're nearly impossible to tell apart. I mean, if you had these two agents as referrals or you found them online, you know how you would pick? Probably by their personality or looking at their marketing material. But when you zoom out of these two agents and you look at this dashboard, you'll notice that about 90% of 788 agents either have red flags or haven't sold enough for you to be able to count on them. So that's why we've already done the heavy lifting for you. So you're not sitting through 788 agents. So the leader dashboards where we've already done the heavy lifting for you because that's where all the standouts are shown, broken down by property type and price points. That way, you get all the transparency you just saw, but focus on the agents most likely to deliver on the results you want. So basically, in just a few seconds, it's like you interviewed 788 agents and got answers you'll find nowhere else. And if any of these numbers ever feel overwhelming or you just want a second opinion, here's the best part of the program that I've been keeping a secret. His name is Alfred B. Butler, and that's my own AI program. All you have to do is give him a screenshot, and Alfred will break down what you're seeing in plain language. Okay, and if you have questions about escrow, need help understanding the contracts with all that legal jargon, or want a second pair of eyes when offers come in, Alfred's got you covered. He's an AI program, so that means no commissions, no bias, no strings attached. You're just really getting helpful advice whenever you need it. And right now, he's completely free for everyone. There's a link in the description for your free access. Could you go back and hire someone because they were someone's neighbor or friend? Or because there was a platform and they had good reviews? And on that topic of other platforms, did you know that most of them recommend you their agents because those agents either pay to be advertised or they're splitting your commission fees? So you're not really getting recommendations. You're being sold to the agents who make them money, not the ones protecting your equity. But with us, not only is this completely private, because unlike them, it doesn't matter to us who you use. We don't actually even know. Not only that, we went as far as saying agents can't sign up with us or even pay us. Not only can they not pay us, but we're the ones paying to get this MLS data so that we stay 100% independent, unbiased, so that we are never influenced by agent money or hidden deals. That means finally, the only thing you're getting, it's what's best for you. There's no exceptions, there's no favorites. There's never preferred agents. That's the heart behind Five and Dime data. We're a safety net for the preservation of your lifetime's work. Certainty in a world full of uncertainty. A truth teller in an industry of exaggerations and fake it till you make it. And here's the best part. It doesn't cost hundreds of thousands to protect yourself from losing hundreds of thousands. And I'm sorry that I have to plug in my pricing here, but honestly, If there was another way to get this information, I wouldn't have spent all my money and the last year, 6 months, 11 days to build this. But here's what you do get. You get an in-depth video that guides you on how to use this tool to get your best results. You also get a personalized dashboard, a detailed neighborhood report, and even Alfred, your built-in AI advisor, for just $2,500. That's so much less than a single price reduction and a fraction of what you would lose with the wrong agent. And you know this is an investment. And like all good investments, you'll soon see that back with your successful home sale. But during this soft launch, Five and Dime data is only available in select markets. Los Angeles, Orange, and San Bernardino counties here in Southern California, while we are currently preparing for our national rollout. So if your area isn't just active yet, click the link below and I will personally email you to let you know the moment your region goes live. And here's my promise to you. If you purchase access and end up not using anybody on our list, and instead you choose to sell with Uncle Bob, I'm going to refund you not just 100% of your money, no questions asked, but I'll donate $100 to Habitat to Humanity. Honestly, this is bigger than just another real estate tool. It's proof your family's future won't be left to chance when you're most financially exposed. So go ahead, click the link below, and lock in your access now.